So yeah, I could see that, you see. But again, that's the counterpoint you'd want to introduce, right? And say, yeah, some went to mutual funds, but some just went to cash, or some went to, Abdul is predicting Bitcoin. Maybe it went to Bitcoin. That's another possibility. Yeah, absolutely. What influenced the consumer behavior in 2020 in the gold market? Yeah, Leo. Sure. But I think another, correlated to that, Leo, is this is just India. What happened in other countries? Or maybe you could segment it out. Here's what happened in developing countries, but here's what happened in first world countries or second world countries, right? Maybe there's a difference there too, right? But yeah, but I'm just excited, because like you guys are like coming up with all these studies, right? In my city, people still want to buy gold for the future, especially in my house. Hey, listen, if you had bought gold even just a year ago, you'd be doing very, very well right now. I mean, have you guys seen the charts for gold? No, like I said, I'm not acting as your financial advisor, right? But like I said, gold is one of my hobbies. I like gold. But yeah, guys, I mean, you guys are coming up with great studies and with great counterpoints, which is very important in a balanced study. Because if you can have a study, show your counterpoint, and then defeat your counterpoint, that gives you a very strong paper, right? That's a very persuasive paper, right? Yeah, Leo says right now gold is reaching its highest. Why? Another study. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. If you guys don't know, gold is at its highest it's ever been, like ever in the history of mankind, right? And it keeps on breaking the record every single day for like at least the past 3 weeks, maybe the last month. But again, we're getting off topic here because gold is my interest, and I'm not trying to push it on you, but use this framework, guys, or other things that you're interested in, right? I mean, that's really the value that I'm trying to give all of you in this tutorial. Okay? All right, so this is charts. Let's do something else. Descriptive statistics, super important, right? Leo says could be wars, recession. Yeah, absolutely. So that's where you'd have to start bringing in other data, Leo, right? Like interest rates, recessions, consumer outlook, right? You'd have to start looking at those correlations and relationships. All right. So here's our descriptive statistics. What do you guys think? Anything jumping out at anybody? Leo says also we're conducting an inference study, right? Yeah, great question, Leo. I wouldn't say that this is a study. We are definitely creating inferences that we want to carry forward into a study and prove in some sort of quantitative way. But I would consider what we're doing now more just like explorations, and the inferences we're making are theories we want to test, right? Because you haven't really made any valid inferences until you put some like data behind it or some work behind it. So I hate to sound like I'm being very pedantic in the words, but we are making inferences to create studies, but this in itself is not an inferential study. Abdul says, I just found out that India leads in crypto adoption for second straight year. Okay, cool. Cool. Maybe it's going to crypto. All right, but so we got some descriptive statistics up on the screen. Anybody notice anything? Okay. Yassine says, I think there's skewness. Okay, Yassine. So Yassine, I'm gonna put you to task a little bit. What makes you say that? I'd love to hear your analysis for that. Voldemort also says maybe skewness. All right, guys, give it to me. What makes you say that? And Leo, here we are making a few more inferences, right? Because to say that there's skewness is a little bit of an inferential result, right? But yeah, let me hear it, guys. What's your rationale for that? And if anybody else wants to give other observations, you're welcome to. But right now we have two people saying that there's skewness. I want to hear why. Okay. Voldemort says median is less than the mean. Yassine says a 25th percentile is very close to the average. Okay. Okay. Anybody else? Anybody? You don't have to make observations on the skewness. You can make any observation you want. I'm going to make a quick calculation on my end. All right, anybody else with any observations? All right, so let's put this to the test, guys. Let's participate in the chat here. Give me a 1 if you think that Voldemort and Yassine are correct, that there is skewness. Give me a 0 if you don't think there's skewness. So are you team skew or team no skew? A 1 for skewness, a 0 for no skewness. All right, so Steel, AWSM, welcome. I think it's your first time. Steel does see some skewness. Anybody else? Give me some votes here. 1 if you agree with the skewness, 0 if you don't. Anybody else? Just give me a vote, guys. 0 if you don't see the skewness, and 1 if you do. Theo says, it's my first time here. Found out about your content and following you recently on IG. Awesome stuff. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Thank you. All right, Manoj sees the skewness. Sam also sees it. Last call for votes, guys. All right, Aditya sees it. All right, so really appreciate the observations. And first of all, I love that you guys are looking at that because that's one of the first things I also look for, right? So just to keep this fun, I'm going to play the other side. And I'm going to say no skew. I'm not sure. I'm not on board with the skew. I'm a 0 vote. But I love that you guys, put out your opinion and you put the rationale. And me asking you to ask for your rationale, that's pretty standard, right? Guys like me, the chief data scientist, is going to come to you and say, okay, why? Tell me why, right? And then I'm going to give you my rationale too, right? So who was it? Okay, so Voldemort is on the right track by looking at the median versus the mean. I always do that too, right? Your eye should immediately be drawn to the median and mean, right? Like if you've taken some sort of statistics, you understand why, right? So I love Voldemort's rationale there.